you guys, it's Britt. Tonight we're going to talk about the Dylan Mulvaney and Ulta situation that is kind of exploding online depending on where you spend your time. But I wanted to talk about this with you guys before we even get into the rest of this video. I want this to be a conversation. I am not here to start anything. I am not here to tell someone that they are the worst and this other side is correct. I want this to be a conversation. If this topic is going to upset you and you know who Dylan is, please click off of this video and I will see you on my next one. But if you are interested in hearing my thoughts, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so I think we're all familiar with Ulta Beauty. They are a beauty and cosmetics retailer, and they have stores, I'm pretty sure, in all 50 states. They are very well known in the beauty community. If you are a makeup lover, a skincare lover, chances are you either know what Ulta is, or you frequent Ulta, or maybe you've just stopped in a few times, depending on if you have one in your local area. But they are a really big retailer here in the US of cosmetics and hair care, skincare, all of the things. And they recently went ahead and promoted a TikTok star, Dylan Mulvaney. And there are a lot of people that are very upset about this. So what I want to do is I want to give you guys a rundown of what's going on, why people are upset with Ulta, and then I also want to read some of the responses that the public has had to this. And like I said in the intro, I want this to be a conversation. And if you don't feel like you want to share your thoughts here, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. And if you want to email me instead, you can do that as well. But I really want to hear from y'all. As always, I always want this to be a conversation. But with this specifically, just because I feel like it not only has the beauty community talking, it also has people that are just on social media talking, and there's just a lot of buzz. And I think that this is going to be an extended conversation. I don't think that this is just like a 1 or 2 day thing. I do think that this is going to open up additional conversations, and of course I will make a follow-up video if I need to, but for now, let's just go over what's going on and we'll go from there. So I am going to be looking down. This is going to be a good video if you just want to listen only. There's not a whole lot to, it's not a reaction or anything. So let's start from the top. It says that Ulta Beauty on Sunday, which is today when I'm filming this, released a statement calling for civility after the release of a company podcast episode featuring a transgender TikTok star triggered an avalanche of transphobic vitriol online. Thursday's episode of Ulta's bi-weekly podcast, The Beauty Of, saw Dylan Mulvaney, an actress and comedian with more than 8 million followers on TikTok, join David Lopez, a gender-fluid Latinx celebrity hairstylist. The pair discussed identity and their personal journeys, with Mulvaney explaining, quote, "Now I know I can find love. I know I can still be a performer. I know that I can have a family. I want to be a mom one day, and I absolutely can." In replies to Ulta's social media threads featuring the podcast clip, scores of users decried it as a misogynist, misgendered Mulvaney and called for a boycott of the company. Ulta explained in its weekend statement that the premise of the podcast, part of its Beauty and campaign, is to widen the lens surrounding traditional beauty standards, adding that we believe beauty is for everyone. Regardless of how someone identifies, they deserve our respect. Before I go into some of the other responses, I do want to share just a little bit more about Dylan so that we know a little bit more about her before we go into the kind of other side of this conversation. It says, during the pandemic, Dylan Mulvaney started making content on TikTok, videos with animals or of her singing, and her posts regularly amassed a few 100,000 views. but it was coming out as a transgender woman to her TikTok audience in March that catapulted her followers into the millions. Mulvaney is a 25-year-old San Diego native, a professional actress and comedian who lives in West Hollywood, California. After her initial announcement in March, she began a series she dubbed the Days of Girlhood that cataloged each day during the early stages of her transition. She talked about why she decided against changing her name and her experience with hormone replacement therapy. She shared mostly highs, including on day 54 when she was crowned the Diamond of the Season at the Queen's Ball, a Bridgerton experience, a Regency-era themed show that immerses visitors into the world of Netflix's Bridgerton. She has also shared lows, like on day 71 when an Uber driver made her feel uncomfortable while she rode in the back seat. Daily updates filled with optimism, sensitivity, and humor accrued Mulvaney a following of 7.3 million, and that number has grown since, and ad deals with companies such as CeraVe, MAC, Neutrogena, and Kate Spade. And this interview also asked, how did you begin monetizing your content? And Dylan responded, I popped off online right before Pride Month. So a lot of the initial deals were tailored to my queerness and my transness. For some of these major corporations, I was actually their first trans creator. It's exciting to make money to support myself since I lost my job, and to have my transition surgeries be covered too. And the interviewer asked to elaborate on it. And Dylan responded, I knew there was an option for me to try to publicly raise those funds through a GoFundMe campaign, but I wanted to hold that space for other trans people on the platform that don't have the advertising opportunities that I have. I made a video saying, hey everyone, I'm going to be doing some ads this month. Just be aware that this is happening, and if you could, support that. That's the way I wanted people to support rather than giving me money directly. I was able to raise a bit of money. It helped pay for my insurance, which covers my hormones. And it was just a real gift, because right before I started creating content with Days of Girlhood, I thought, what am I going to do to afford my rent this month? And then it goes also into a little bit of the cost of transitioning, some of the hoops that you have to jump through with insurance, so on and so forth. Now, here is my opinion on this. I have seen quite a bit of Dylan's content on the For You page through TikTok. Y'all know I have a TikTok. I don't upload over there, but I do spend some time on the app sporadically during the day, and the algorithm has definitely worked in Dylan's favor. And when I have seen her videos, my very first impression was, wow, she has a lot of energy. She seems to be very energetic, bubbly, full of life, and happy. And that was my very first impression. As I continue to watch more of her TikToks, the one thing that I picked up on, and this is kind of my only takeaway from, if you want to say, like a negative outlook that I might have, is that to me, Dylan seems to be one of those people who thinks that girlhood and being feminine and being a woman, being a girl, has a lot to do with how you dress, how much makeup you wear, what your hairstyle is. Do you like glitter? Do you like colorful things? Girly, quote, girly stuff. And for me, my opinion on that is being a woman and being feminine and being a girl is so much deeper than what you're wearing, what kind of makeup style you have. Those are fun parts of it, and that can be something that some people are interested in. There are also a lot of females who don't like makeup, and they don't like to style their hair, and they might not want to wear a dress or carry a handbag. They might just want to carry their wallet and not wear any makeup and not really do a whole lot with their hair. And for me, that doesn't make someone any less feminine than someone who is wearing the fanciest dress and has full glam on every single day. To me, I feel like being feminine is more of an energy and not a physical appearance. And like I said, I know makeup is fun. Trust me, I put makeup on almost every day. It's just something that I've always been interested in. But that's kind of like, that's a personal thing. That's not, I don't feel any less feminine when I'm not wearing makeup. Do I feel good when I wear makeup? I do, because it's been something that I've enjoyed for so long. But if I'm wearing a dress and makeup, I don't feel any more feminine than if I'm wearing sweatpants and no makeup. And again, that was just kind of my takeaway from seeing a fair amount of Dylan's content. I felt like there was such an emphasis on, I want to buy a handbag, I want to buy this type of clothing, I want this kind of makeup. And I think that that's, based on what I've seen, that's also where a lot of other people have taken up issue, in that being feminine is not always tied in with your physical appearance. It has a lot to do with your energy and your spirit and who you are at your core. Now I'm going to read some of the responses from people on Twitter. Please know that when I am reading these responses, no, these are not my responses. I am just reading what other people had to say, because now that I've given you a little bit of a backstory and a synopsis on what Dylan's content is like and my first impressions, I also want to give you guys impressions of other people, and then we will have a conversation about it in the comments. And as I said, I can happily make a part 2. This might actually be a good video for me to respond to your all's comments and elevate your opinions, because I like to do that once in a while, and this might be a really good video to do that on. And again, if you don't feel comfortable leaving your thoughts here, I can receive an email or a DM on Instagram. It's the same username, and my email is in every description box of every single video. And I'm happy to share your thoughts anonymously. If that is something that you would like me to do, I'm happy to do that for you. This person said, "Women and girls, we deserve better than this contemptible mockery. Women spend an average of $250,000 on cosmetics over a lifetime. Median retirement savings for a woman is $23,000. How much is Dylan earning from mocking us? Invest in your future, not some misogynist dude's grift." Someone else said, "I spend a lot of money at Ulta. Guess I'll be going back to Sephora because as a mother and a woman, I find this dude insulting." The next comment, "As much as I respect those in the trans community as human beings, they need to understand that they will never have the exact experiences and be able to fully relate to a biologically born female." Someone else said, "For them, being a woman is cosplay. They don't actually respect women or take us seriously." Someone else said, "There is something incredibly triggering and infuriating about this Dylan person. These men see womanhood as glitter and sleepovers. They are clueless and delusional." I'm all for inclusion, but I'll be damned if any biological male can tell me what it feels like to experience girlhood or motherhood. The same way, I can't tell one thing about brotherhood. There are quite a few of those comments that I'm just not going to read because they are very hurtful and I don't want to echo some of them. But I think you guys get the idea. People are very upset with Ulta for platforming Dylan. And aside from my understanding that, I understand that people are upset with the idea of womanhood is not just what you look like on the outside. It is so much more than that. I also do think that people have been saying some very hurtful things, and that's why I don't want to echo some of these comments because they are just so cruel. But I really want to know how you guys feel about this. What I want to ask you guys is, in your opinion, was Dylan the right choice for this opportunity? Because I think that's where people are getting very upset, is just that the opportunity, in some people's minds, the opportunity was given to someone who is kind of playing dress up in their eyes. And I don't really care a whole lot if it's Ulta, Neutrogena, Sephora, whomever it could have been. But I will say that I think because of this, it's also another reminder that people are going to put their money with companies that they actually agree with their values most of the time. I know that some companies are super toxic and problematic and they just have the market cornered. But with situations like this, if you disagree with what Ulta has done, there are many other options of where you can spend your money. And that's what a lot of people are choosing to do. Even though I think that this is an important conversation, and that's why I'm opening it up to you all, because I want to talk about this. I don't want to fight about it. I don't want to create toxicity. I just want to have an adult conversation with people who want to talk. I also think that with situations like this, it kind of exposes people that are super disgusting with the way that they think and the way that they can speak about other human beings. And that part I find to be very disheartening, because there is a way, and the internet will never understand this, it's only getting worse by the day, but there are ways to say, I don't really care for this a whole lot, and this is why I don't care for it, without making someone actually feel like an actual piece of garbage. There are ways, and this is a great reminder, you can give people criticism, and you can give them some pretty harsh criticism if that's how you feel, without becoming so dark and nasty. And I know that it's a polarizing subject for some people, but I don't know. Hopefully I don't regret posting this video, but that's what I have my channel for. I want to talk about stuff that might be a little bit off my normal kind of stuff that I talk about, because I want to have these conversations and I don't want them to be filled with toxicity and hate. But I like to hear what other people think. That's why I have a commentary channel. I say how I kind of feel and what I know about the topic, and then we talk about it. And like I said, this might be a video where I make a part 2. Tell me what y'all think about that. But how do you feel about Ulta? How do you feel about Dylan? Do you know Dylan? Do you know Ulta? Do you not care? Do you really care? Are you mad? Are you sad? Are you, sound off. Tell me all of it. And like I said, if you're more comfortable emailing me or DMing me, I am more than happy to share your thoughts anonymously. I will always keep things anonymous if I am asked to. And yeah, we're going to see kind of where this goes. I think that it's kind of an interesting crossroads, considering beauty and kind of just other topics that I've talked about. So I figured that this would be different and something that we could chat about. So for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.